All right, let's just jump right into this, because something really strange is happening. On one hand, you've got the biggest companies in the world making these eye-watering, trillion-dollar bets on the future of AI. But on the other hand, Wall Street is suddenly slamming the brakes, sending AI stocks into a total nosedive. So what on earth is going on here? That is the great contradiction we are going to unpack today. I mean, this is the core question, right? The spending has literally never been bigger, the tech has never been more powerful, and yet the market is getting seriously cold feet. To really get this paradox, we've got to look at both sides of the coin. And we're going to start with the absolutely mind-boggling scale of the investment. And look, when we say unprecedented, we really, really mean it. The numbers we're about to look at are just staggering. This isn't just some tech trend anymore. This is a full-blown, high-stakes arms race. Okay, just take a second to look at this number. Over $1 trillion. That's what OpenAI, the company that gave us ChatGPT, is reportedly looking at for its long-term infrastructure needs. We're not just talking about buying a few more servers here. This is about building the fundamental plumbing for an entirely new technological age. So to make that trillion-dollar dream a reality, you got to write some massive checks right now. Case in point, a $38 billion deal for OpenAI to use Amazon's cloud, and of course, those super powerful NVIDIA chips. This is a huge deal because it shows they're not just relying on their main backer, Microsoft. They are scrambling to get their hands on every bit of computing power they possibly can. And you can bet the competition is firing right back. Google is apparently in talks to pour even more money into Anthropic, which is OpenAI's biggest rival. And this potential deal could value Anthropic at over $350 billion. Let's be clear, this isn't just an investment, it's a strategic move in a proxy war against OpenAI and Microsoft. And this just perfectly lays out the different chess moves being made. You've got OpenAI spreading its bets, signing deals with Amazon and Broadcom to make sure they're not too dependent on any single partner. And then you have Google, which is fighting on multiple fronts. They're funding the competition with Anthropic while also pursuing their own insane moonshots, like researching data centers in space. Yeah, you heard that right, in space. So why? Why all this insane spending? What are they building with all this power? Well, the answer is the next giant leap for AI. We are moving way beyond chatbots that just talk to you. We're moving to AI agents that can actually do things for you. So what in the world is an AI agent? Just think of it like this. It's a digital assistant that never gets tired. You give it a complex goal, something like, hey, find the best flight to Tokyo for next month, use my frequent flyer miles, and book it for me. And it can actually go to the airline's website, click all the right buttons, fill in your info, and get the job done, all by itself. It sounds like pure magic, I know, but the process is actually pretty straightforward. First, the AI just reads what's on your screen, exactly like a person would. Then it figures out what you want it to do. And finally, it just mimics human actions, clicking, scrolling, typing, to make it happen. This right here is the technology that all that hardware is being built for. And all this investment is fueling an absolutely fierce showdown. Google's already rolled out its Gemini model for agents. OpenAI is hitting back with something called Agent Kit for its business customers. And we're even hearing rumors about a new thinking model from them. The stakes are so high that Google is literally hiring economists to figure out what the world looks like after we achieve artificial general intelligence, or AGI, the point where AI is smarter than us. They're already planning for the endgame. Okay, so the tech giants are all in. They're racing towards this future of autonomous AI. But, and this is the crazy part, on the very same day all this news was breaking, the stock market was telling a completely different and way more nervous story. Just look at this. It's a sea of red. On a single Friday, the Nasdaq drops 2%. NVIDIA, the undisputed king of AI chips, fell more than 3%. Its biggest rival, AMD, plunged 7%. And Palantir, a huge investor favorite, was down 6%. This was a broad, painful pullback. And this wasn't just a one-day blip either. This capped off the Nasdaq's worst week in a whole month. So despite all this incredible long-term news, the short-term feeling had turned sour fast. Which, of course, led everyone to ask the same question. Why? And the answer comes down to one of Wall Street's favorite words, valuation. After this year-long rocket ship ride, investors are getting nervous. They're starting to wonder, are these stock prices just too high? When are these trillion-dollar bets actually going to make a profit? That's where the fear is coming from. And you don't have to look far to hear this kind of talk. As one market strategist put it pretty bluntly, AI stocks are looking increasingly stretched. Now, that's Wall Street speak for these prices are getting scary, and it's basically a warning that things could come down if these companies don't deliver on this sky-high hype. All of this anxiety, of course, leads to the big, scary question, are we just reliving the dot-com bubble from the late 90s? Where massive hype led to an absolutely spectacular crash? It's the fear that hangs over every single major tech revolution. But here's the other side of it. While those short-term fears are very real, the long-term prize is staggering. The AI market is projected to be worth almost $3.7 trillion by 2034. That's the prize everyone is racing for, and it explains why they're willing to spend so much money right now, even if the market is freaking out. Okay, so how do we make sense of this? How can you have a trillion-dollar arms race and a market panic happening at the exact same time? Well, the truth is, they're not two different stories. They are two sides of the very same coin. Let's just connect the dots here. It goes like this. These huge long-term bets create soaring, almost unbelievable expectations. Those expectations drive stock prices through the roof, creating those stretched valuations we talked about. And finally, those super high valuations make the market really, really jumpy, triggering short-term jitters at the first sign of any trouble. So here's the key takeaway. The sell-off isn't happening in spite of the AI arms race. It's happening because of it. The incredible ambition of this long-term vision is the very thing creating the shaky ground in the short-term market. They are completely fundamentally linked. So at the end of the day, the AI revolution isn't really in doubt. It's here. It's happening. The real drama, the story we're all watching play out, isn't about if this technology will change the world. It will. The real question is, in this trillion-dollar marathon, who actually has the strategy, the money, and the guts to be left standing when the dust finally settles?